One, two, three.
Hello, everyone. This is Kyle Galaz with Poor2Pro Car Sales Training Podcast. Become a sales titan. We are in season 7, episode 4. Calls equal cash. This is my new setup right here. I hope you guys like it. Hope you girls like it. All you salespeople out there, I want to be able to see you guys and girls eye to eye when you guys watch me on the training session, because I want you to see my facial expressions when I do these sales pitches in my hands. I was very theatrical when I was in car sales, and that was part of my success because I always wanted to put on a show. And a lot of that was face, body language, hand language. And I just want to be able to help train in that aspect also. So I hope you guys enjoy the video version of this. This is my new setup right here. All around, I got my iPad with my notes. If you see me looking down, it's because I'm looking at my notes for the episode. This is what I do. Just a lot of times I don't do the video versions. If you can't see me right now, get over to Spotify and find this episode, season 7, episode 4, calls equal cash, because I want you to be able to see the video version of this. So a lot of the podcast links out there will turn it into just audio. So if you have any suggestions of what I should put in my background, let me know and I'll put it up there. And I got my Batmobile up there because I always liked Batman growing up. So I thought, I'm going to stick something personal and fun up there. So appreciate you guys tuning in. And before I get started, I always want to say thank you to all my listeners out there, you guys and girls out there, and people trying to get to the next level. Your kind words, your donations, buying the books is probably the coolest thing ever, because you guys get something in return. For a pretty inexpensive price on Amazon, the return of investment for you is pretty epic. If you want to check out my books, they'll be in the link of this episode's description. Yeah, the links. And let me know what you think about me doing the video podcast. I always like feedback, and I love hearing from everybody. It warms my heart when I hear about successes. And I got to give a shout out to Earl Witherspoon. He just sent me a message today. He had a new dealership that he was eyeballing for a while, and he made a tough decision to leave the dealership that he was very successful at, killing it. But the money wasn't there. The units were there, but the money wasn't there. So he made a leap of faith to a Lexus dealership, and he sent me a message today saying he's #1 at the dealership. He got it, man. First time. Being #1, and it's because he's training. He's trying to get better. So Earl Witherspoon, great job. I'm proud of you. I look forward to our one-on-one training session. I know you're going to book it. Buckle down and just do it. And for anybody else that wants to be on season 8, this is your time to message me, book a one-on-one training session. You get to pick 3 to 4 topics that you want to elevate in the car business to get better at. Why not invest in yourself? You invest in everything, consumables, fun stuff, whatever. Let's invest in yourself for once and try something new. If you try the same thing over and over and expect different results, you're crazy. You got to try new things. And one of the new things is get involved with the trainer, book a one-on-one session. You pick 3 to 4 topics. It's an hour-long Zoom session. You click the link, boom, we're connected. It's 149 USD. It's the world's smallest investment in yourself with some of the greatest returns. Just go to my Instagram, Poor2Pro_Car Sales Training, and look at all the testimonials I have for the training sessions. It's changed lives. So change your life today. All right, let's get into this episode. Calls equal cash. Trying to find something catchy for the title, and I figured calls equal cash because that's what we're going to cover, and that's how you make more money. Okay, most salespeople are great at walk-in traffic. Why is that? It's because when we got hired at our dealership, we got trained for a day or two, and the manager said, hey, the customer comes in, you do a meet and greet. If you get in trouble, you come get me, but show them around, take them on test drives, et cetera, et cetera. And so we correlated taking it up to selling a car to making money to being happy. So we made the link that you take it up, you make money and be happy. And that was our whole training process is taken up. We'll look out for customers, watch a lot. This is where they come in. This is where they drive out. This is the service department. Get your hands on a customer. And so we got really, really good at walk-in traffic, and there's nothing wrong with that. What our trainers failed us, where they failed us was phone calls. I didn't get any phone call training, phone call etiquette, phone call anything. It was stand on the lot, wait for a customer. When you get a customer, do your best to close them. If you don't close them, come get me or closer, and they'll help you close it. So my whole thing was take it up, sell a car, be happy, make money. And so I got really good at that. And I got to this warm and fuzzy place called my comfort zone where I was making enough money to pay my bills and, get to eat out and do whatever. But it wasn't an astronomical amount. It was my comfort zone, and nothing grows in a comfort zone. And so what I wish would have happened is my sales manager said ups and phone calls are just as important as each other. When there's no ups, you go make those phone calls instead of standing around in a huddle hoping someone shows up when there's 8 salespeople on the corner trying to get an up also. So we got really good at taking ups and closing those ups, but we didn't get really good at making phone calls. Then we learned our whole lifeline was of income was taking those up. So we saw that the correlation between taking ups and our paychecks increasing. This was our reward system for taking as many ups as possible. More ups, more income, more fun. That's why we love the car business. But once I figured out, wait a second, there's other ways to make money in the car business, like, oh, digging deep on internet leads. Oh, social media postings. Oh, making phone calls, whether they're cold calls, referrals, repeats, orphan customers, service customers. The key is to get on the phone and start making some phone calls, but because there's money to be made in phone calls, cash equals or calls equals cash. So you got to get on that phone and make phone calls. Now, a lot of salespeople are rusty at it, just like you were rusty at taking ups, but you were forced to take those ups. Your manager looked at you and said, "What are you doing, man? Get outside and take some ups." But they don't seem to do that when it comes to phone calls because you can kind of fly under the radar. This is where we have to hold ourselves accountable and get out there, get on the phone and make some calls, whether they're sucky calls. I was rusty and crusty on that phone call. I sound like an idiot. I don't know what I'm talking about. It doesn't matter. The key is to get on that phone and start practicing because practice makes perfect. If you don't ever get on the phone and make mistakes, then you can't learn from your mistakes. And if you're not learning from your mistakes, then you're going to repeat them or not even try. So the key to making phone calls is to make the phone call. Get on the phone, and if you sound like a doofus, so be it. Make some notes. I won't say that again. Oh, I won't bring up grandma again. She passed away, 9 years ago. There's all these things that you can write down that work and write down that don't work, things to avoid, things to bring up. And you can start tailor making your phone call based on your style of talking. Everyone talks a little bit different. Everyone has their own style of talking and product information and being able to do all these things. So you got to practice, but the only way to do that is pick up the phone. So if you want to start making cash off of calls, start picking up the phone, start making those calls. Okay. Let me move down here. All right, I put something on here I really wanted to say. Uh, we don't realize what we're missing out on when it comes to phone calls because we got high on our own supply of walk-in traffic. We stopped digging deep after we figured out how to make a decent living off of walk-in traffics, but we're missing such a crucial part of of the car business. You might be making great money. Hey, I make 8 to 10 grand a month off walk-ins. Oh my gosh, that's excellent. What happens if you started making all those calls? How much could you make? Could you make 15 grand? Could you make 20? Who here in the podcast world, in the Poor2Pro podcast wants to make more money? Oh, show of hands. Everybody wants to make more money. So why not take those in between times when you're not talking to customers on the floor or service to make those calls? So got to make the calls. Why would we want to work any harder for extra money? Because we want to make extra money, so we're going to work harder. The extra money we are looking for each and every paycheck is on the other side of that phone. Think about this. If someone told you, your manager said, "Hey, you, Mrs. Salesperson, pick up the phone. Someone wants to give you $1,000." Ah, boom, boom, boom. Hello? Hello? You would do everything you can knowing that there's another grand or there's a grand waiting on the other side of that phone call. But the manager said, "Hey, if you want that $1,000 on the other side of that phone call, you have to be charming, you have to be inviting, you have to be knowledgeable, you have to be courteous, you have to be professional, and you have to get them here. If you want that $1,000 from that customer that's sitting in their hand, that person, you got to get them here to deliver it to you. Think about how good you get knowing that there's $1,000 on the other side of a phone call. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, this is Kyle over at ABC Motors. Yeah. Is this Bill? I always use Bill. Bill, what's going on? Yeah, I came across your information and I just wanted to see what you inquired about. It doesn't say anything if you were asking for service or parts or body shop or detail. What exactly was it you're inquired about? Oh, the sales department. Okay, excellent. Well, that's my field. Thank you for inquiring. Right? You're going to do everything you can to get that extra money, and you will find a way to get that appointment because you know there's $1,000 on the other side of that phone call. So remember, at the other side of a phone call is cash. So we have to make that call. Okay, so in this episode, we're going to cover cold calls, internet leads, sold customers, orphan customers, and anything else that pops in my brain. Step one, and this is a big thing with salespeople, is they prejudge the phone call before they make it. I don't care what time it is. If my manager says, "Hey, start making some calls," and it's 8:01, I'm going to start making some calls because guess what? I'm prejudging as a salesperson that they're not awake yet. Oh, they're taking their kids to school. Stop prejudging. Just call them. Let them tell you that it's a bad time or a good time to talk. Don't prejudge the phone call before you make it. Pick up the phone and call. Ring, 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 ring. Oh, it went to voicemail. Let me hang up. I'm not going to leave a voicemail yet. I'm going to call again real quick. Oh, yeah. Hey, what's up, Cheryl? Right? And you just make the call. Let them determine to you if it's a bad time to call or not. Because a lot of times you're going to find out they have a few minutes to talk. You got a few seconds to talk, a few minutes. Yeah, that might turn into 30 minutes talking about their trade and all the stuff and the bad dealerships they went to before. They always have time to talk if you're compelling enough. Okay, so remember that. Who cares what time it is? You make the call. If your dealership's open, make the call. Let them tell you if it's a bad time or not. And if it is a bad time, when can I call you back? What's a good time? 20 minutes, 30 minutes, half an hour, 3 o'clock? All right, I'm going to call you at 3. And then you call them at 2:50, catch them off guard from a different phone number so they can't avoid the phone call. But never prejudge the call before you make it. Who cares what time it is? Who cares if the vehicle in your internet lead has been sold? Let's say it's an internet lead. And, oh, the vehicle's been sold. Call them anyway. Don't prejudge it. That could have just been the one they clicked to get through the internet lead system so that someone can call and says, yeah, I inquired on the truck, but I'm actually looking for that sports car. That happens sometimes. Don't prejudge. Who cares what zip code or area code they're from? If it's an odd area code on their phone number, they may have just moved to your town. Don't prejudge that they live in New Jersey when they actually live in your hometown and somewhere in Colorado just because they have a weird area code or their zip code they put in the internet lead or whatever lead you got. They could have just put some random number. Don't prejudge the call. Who cares what their trade-in is? Yeah, I have an '09 Mitsubishi, whatever. Oh, they're probably flipped. Do you have a payoff? Yes. Does it show how much? No. Oh, they're probably flipped. Don't worry about it. Make the call, make a friend, build rapport, get them in. Okay. Who cares how long it's been since you last contacted your customer? This is something that happens with sold customers that you haven't talked to in 2 years. What do you say? I have the answer. But what do you say to get that to get over that hump that you haven't talked to them for 2 years? Step one is make the call. Over the years, I learned in phone calls, don't hesitate. Just pick it up. If you get an internet lead or you have someone calling or you need to call somebody, don't think about the phone call before you make it. Just make the call and let the phone call flow where it needs to go to get that appointment or to solve the problem that you have for that phone call. What is before you make the call, what am I trying to do? I'm trying to set an appointment. I'm trying to get a good survey. I'm trying to do whatever, trying to collect some down payment that they haven't shown up with. Think about the end result that you want and let the conversation flow that way. Don't try to force it because if you try to barrel through something, you might get hung up on or they might block your phone call. But the key is don't hesitate. What am I trying to do? I need an appointment, make the call. The biggest step to calling customers is to call the customer. Practice makes perfect. If we are unwilling to pick up that phone call and make those calls, then we shouldn't be complaining about our paychecks. We have to do the things to make our paychecks humongous. And part of that is making those phone calls. Remember, you are a direct reflection of your paycheck. Think about it. Whatever your paycheck was last month or last paycheck or last 2 weeks, that is a direct reflection of you, your work ethic. Okay. It's never too early to make that call. It's never too late to make that call. The key is to make the call. All right, step 2. Why are we calling? What's the point of calling a customer when you're trying to make sales? To sell a car over the phone or to set an appointment? Can you sell a car over the phone? Have you ever delivered a car over the phone? Maybe once or twice. Out of towners, they get it shipped. I know we do that a lot at our dealership. You never really make contact with the customer eye to eye. So yes, it is possible to sell a car over the phone. But the majority of people need to come in, need to test drive, need to check it out, need to check you out, need to check out other dealerships. They need to eventually come into the dealership to finish the process. So when you're making a phone call in general, most of the time, you need to be focused on the appointment. Focus on the appointment. The end result of my phone call, whether it's a cold call or internet lead, a referral, or whatever, it's the appointment at the end is the point of my call. How I get to that appointment is going to be how this phone call goes. One single script is not going to take you to an appointment each and every time, but a script will keep you on target with the appointment in the back of your mind. Say it with me. The phone call is to set the appointment. No matter how the phone call flows, we always have to keep the goal in mind, and that's to get the customer in the showroom. Once they are in the showroom, then our personal or our people skills kick in, our sales skills kick in, our sales titan skills kick in, and that's when we can put our sales shoes on and really make it. Phone call, appointment, showroom, sale, okay? Customers want to set an appointment with people they like, people that are friendly, people that bring them value. What's the value of your appointment? Are you trying to lower their payment? You trying to offer more on trades? Is your interest rates because the factory's given some super low rates versus the banks right now? What is the value of your appointment when you're calling these customers? You have to have a value for them to come in. Customers don't come in just to come in and waste time, although some do. But most of the time, if you want to set an appointment and you want to get them here, you have to have a value of why are they coming in? Hey, I'm trying to reach out to you because some new programs just came out, and the first person I thought of was you, and I thought, shoot, I remember his interest. He didn't like his interest rate that much. He thought his payment was too high. Well, now I have some programs to lower your rate, possibly get you a lower payment with no money out of pocket. Like there's value to that. Or, hey, I know your truck's out of factory warranty now, and I didn't remember if you got a extended service policy or not. But with the new programs out, I'm able to get you into a truck, similar truck, but of course 3 years newer, and get you back into that factory warranty. Okay, keep the payment roughly the same. I mean, you kidding me? Like you're the first person I thought of. So you got to have some form of value of why to get them in, and what's the purpose of the appointment. Think about the appointment as the final destination to a road trip. We start in my hometown. I'm trying to get to Disneyland. Disneyland is the appointment. Disneyland is the destination, and I have to go through these gas stations and places to eat and use the restroom to get to my final destination, which is the appointment. Well, that phone call is little destinations on the way to your final destination, little destinations, collecting information, building rapport, being friendly, trying to get them in, all these little things that eventually get you to that appointment. All right. So now that we've kind of talked about what phone calls are, what we're trying to do when we make a call, not prejudging the phone call, let's get into cold calls. I had a salesperson reach out to me asking about cold calls because not many people do cold calls anymore. I don't know of many people at my dealership that just pick up a phone book, if that's even a thing anymore, or call businesses if that's a thing anymore, because they're hoping the walk-in traffic covers their sales, because we never got really good at phone calls. So let's go over cold calls. Cold calls are a lower closing ratio phone call. So you have to make an abundant amount of phone calls when it comes to cold calls. And a lot of times you're planting seeds and maybe just getting some information out there of the programs going on and things of that nature. But cold calls, remember, they're a lower closing ratio. So you need volume. You need a lot of volume to be able to make the sales. So when it comes to cold calls, don't take them personal that you're getting rejected or people are hanging up or they're saying, I'm not interested, or no, we just bought a car, I never do business there, or your dealership screwed me over last time. Don't get personally invested in these phone calls. Understand that cold calls are simply a numbers game, and all we're doing is getting through them till we find the person that was, hey, I was just talking about getting a new car with my husband last night. Oh, really? Well, what are the chances of me calling today? I was just going through some phone numbers, and your name popped up. I thought, you know what? She sounds nice. Look at that name. She sounds nice. And what's how crazy is that? What exactly are you guys looking for? And those are the little successes that you have in cold calls that can get sales. But if you're going to make some phone calls and you only make 10 cold calls, and you're mad that you're excuse me, you're mad that your success rate is down, it's because you haven't made enough cold calls. Cold calls is a numbers game. Low closing ratio percentages, so you got to make a lot, okay? Now, there's a few approaches you can take with cold calls. I used to use a really cheesy one. I would call the wrong person and ask for that wrong person. They would say, no, doesn't live here. Oh man, he told me to call him when I got these insane incentives at the Ford dealership, and they're finally here, and he gave me the wrong number on accident, or I must have punched the wrong digit in, hoping that the customer would say, well, what are the incentives? And they did say that a few times, but very low closing ratio with that technique. I was also 19 or 20 years old and still pretty stupid just in life. And I didn't have a good flow with customers. So what kind of things can you talk about when you're doing cold calls? One is be honest. How about you just tell the customer, hey, I'm making cold calls. I'm trying to find people that are wanting to trade in their cars and get into something new. I'm hoping that's you, right? There's nothing wrong with being honest and telling them, hey, I'm a salesperson over here at the dealership. I'm making phone calls, hoping to find somebody that wants to buy a car. My boss told me, make some calls or you're fired. And so I thought, well, I'm going to start calling people. And you can get a little laugh out of them. Everyone has a boss. Everyone understands that you're getting told what to do and you're just doing your job. But hey, yeah, I may be just doing my job, but I'm going to do a darn good job for you. I'm going to work my butt off to earn your business the right way. And if you don't like the numbers, guess what? You don't have to buy the vehicle, but at least come check it out. Okay, I could do that. All right, what time should I put you down for an appointment? Those are all little verbiages you can use, but how about we just be honest and tell the customer why we're calling? Okay. What about be smooth? This is the one I like to use on a lot of different things. Be smooth, the be smooth approach. Your name came across my system, but there was no notes attached to it. It didn't say if you were here for service or parts or body shop or the sales department. It just popped up, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to call this person because I don't want to leave them not getting help just in case it was something that was very important. So, how can I help you? You're looking for sales. Well, that's my department. And I'm sorry if it's been a long time since someone's reached out to you. When did you put in this inquiry? I'm getting them engaged. Oh, I just put in this morning. Oh, phew. Sometimes when names come across my system, I call them like, I did that 2 weeks ago. So I'm glad it was just this morning. Now, did it show any vehicle in there at all? It did. What were you looking for? Oh, yeah. I think that is still in stock. Let me pull it up here. Right? So I'm getting them engaged, even though I know the vehicle, I know their name, I know that they inquired about sales. What I'm looking for is engagement with them. I'm going along this journey with them to buy a vehicle. I'm not trying to sell them a car over the phone. I'm trying to go on a journey with them. Yeah, it looks like that vehicle has a working deal right now, but if I put you down for an appointment, I can prioritize it to go to you if that deal falls through. Say what you got to say. Get the appointment. Okay, say what you got to say, get the appointment. I just thought of that right now, right? So you gotta say what you gotta say. So the be smooth approach is, hey, your name came across my system, but there was no notes attached. Were you inquiring about service? Da 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 da. Oh, sales, that's my department. What vehicle are you looking at? It doesn't say. Sometimes our system deletes the vehicle. I don't know why. It must be Bill Gates. Oh yeah, I can't stand that guy. Oh yeah. Building rapport. Okay. Another approach to cold calls, be informative. I'm calling potential customers, telling them about our new incentive programs, our new leases, our super low rates. are big incentives. And I just want to make sure everybody in my local community knows what programs are out there, because I would hate for all these factory incentives to go away and me not tell people about it. Yeah, I'm doing it old school. I'm calling people, but I'd rather tell you about it. You tell me no than not tell you at all. And you say, man, you should have called me. Right? So be informative. Hey, this is what's going on. These are the programs. We're finding out that a lot of people in our community are coming in on these incentives and lowering their payments, lowering their interest rates, and doing it with no money down. Does that sound like something that you'd be interested in, lowering your payment and getting something new? Right? Anyone's going to say yes to that. Guess what? You got an appointment. Now, can you deliver on that? We're going to see if they come in, they got good credit, and they're not buried in their vehicle. Yeah, you're going to get that done. Now, if they come in and they have bad credit and they're buried, that's not your fault. Well, you didn't tell me you were 15 grand flipped and you got a 490 score, right? That's on you, right? But at least you got them in, you're working a deal. How about this? Be yourself with a cold call. Have fun, sound professional, bring value to that phone call. Just like when you're setting appointments with internet leads or anybody, you need to bring value to the phone call. Why would a customer want to come see me, Kyle, at my dealership? What's the purpose? Is it just to lollygag around at the dealership, or is it to conduct business, get something done, and bring value to that customer? Yeah, I noticed that in the system, it shows you're driving an '09 Subaru Outback. Are you still under any kind of warranties in that? So if you had a major problem, what would you do? You'd pay for it? So you're willing to put 5-6 grand into a '09? How about we get you into something newer where you don't have to put any money down and you don't have to worry about something breaking down, right? There's lots of little things, but what you need to do is bring the value. What's the value of the phone call? Remember that when you're talking with people. What is the value? What we do with cold calls is throw hooks in the water to try to catch potential customers. If you only throw one hook in the middle of the ocean is cold call land, and you have one hook, it's about that big, and you throw it in with a little bit of bait on it. What are your chances of catching a fish? Small. Now, let's say every day you throw in 100 hooks with good bait, good word tracks. You going to catch some fish? Probably. If you make 100 cold calls a day and you have good bait on it, good word tracks, and you have value in that phone call, you're probably going to get some appointments. Let's say you only have a 5% appointment rate. That's 5 appointments a day you're setting. You want to know how people are selling 30, 40 cars a month? I know them. They set appointments. They don't have to take ups anymore. People are asking for them. Hey, is John here? Oh, yeah, he's over here. Oh, there's a fresh up. How can I help you guys? Oh, is John here? Oh my gosh, why does everyone ask for John? Are you failing to see that he just made 150 phone calls yesterday to cold calls, internet leads, repeat referrals? I mean, the guy is always on the phone call, and you're wondering why he's getting all kinds of appointments, and he's selling 3 cars every few days, and he's selling 30 cars a month. I know those people. I see them all the time on Instagram. I talk with those people. And that's the kind of person you need to become as a salesperson, a sales titan, saleswoman, or salesman. I don't care what you are. You can do it. You can make that 15, 20K a month. You can be the next big star at your dealership, like Earl Witherspoon on that #1 at his Lexus store, first time in his life, coming from a labor background. Good job, Earl. Thinking about you since you sent me that, and that kind of stuff motivates me when I hear from salespeople that are succeeding and they're training. So remember, cold calls, you got to throw in a lot of hooks, and you have to bring value to that customer. Okay, you got to put in the work though. You got to put in the time, and you got to get good at it. And the only way you get good at it is, guess what? You practice, you fail, you make mistakes, you sound stupid, you do dumb things. But guess what? You're going to start refining your tools on the phone call. And next thing you know, you're going to have a roadmap of success based on your verbiage, not verbiage you found online. How do you do a proper cold call? Right? It's going to be tailor made to you because you actually put in the time to learn it. All right, let's move on. Internet leads. My approach to internet leads was you email them first and you call them right after. Hey, I sent you an email. Don't know if you got it or not. Sometimes they go to spam. This is Kyle over at ABC Motors, and I saw you inquired on a vehicle, but didn't show what vehicle you inquired on. Sometimes our system deletes it, and I don't know why. It's probably Bill Gates, right? You just get in, you start having fun, you mix it up, and you sound fluid. Sometimes I can't even mimic a bad phone call because I've been selling for so long, it's hard to mimic it. It's like a basketball player trying to miss a shot. They just can't not make it. It's like, but it's practice. It's practice every single day. I talk a lot. I need some coffee. I love coffee. All right. Email, call, and then text. Make contact before you move on and forget about that internet lead. And I know that I've talked about this before, and I've showed my salespeople in person how to do this. And some people have the guts to do it, and some people don't. But I can't use my phone. It's right there. I get on the phone, rings till the voicemail. I hang up. Call again. Rings to the voicemail. I hang up. Yeah, this is annoying, but who's getting a hold of their customers? Rings. Oh, they picked up, and they sound a little upset. Oh, yeah. This is Kyle over at ABC Motors. How you doing? Was my phone calling you over and over? I'm so sorry. I've been having problems with Verizon. And I can't tell if I'm calling out or not. So I apologize if I called you 2 or 3 times. Oh yeah, no problem. What's going on? But I got them on the line. That's how you do it. If you're having problems with getting a hold of internet leads, try a different approach. If your leave a voicemail is not working, stop doing it. Stop making one call and leaving a voicemail. Try something new. There's no manager I've ever known in the car business that gets a salesman in trouble for trying too hard to sell a car. Hey boss, I'm just trying too hard to sell a car. You know what? Get in my office. I'm writing you up. It doesn't happen. Where you get in trouble is not trying hard enough and your numbers show for it. You got to dig deep and make those calls. And anytime I demonstrate that technique, they answer. And my salesman's like, "Isn't that bugging them?" Yeah, it's bugging them. But guess who's got them on the phone, and guess who doesn't? Right? All right, internet leads. So you can't forget about them. Let's say you can't get a hold of them, they're not responding to your emails and texts. Guess what? They may be busy. This doesn't mean they're ghosting you. They may just be on vacation. They may be somewhere in a mine or a farm and they can't get signal, or in the mountains hunting. You got to let these people get back to you sometimes, but never forget about them, because you don't want to do a one and done internet lead. Oh, I tried, put some notes, never try again. Uh, I'm old school. I like writing stuff down. So I have a yellow big sheet of paper that, it's got 50,000 pages on it. And I write down the internet leads of every sales person on my staff. I write them all down. First, writing stuff down helps me remember, helps me see how many salespeople are stopping their leads, stopping the clock, and claiming those leads, and it allows me to remember those leads so I can go back and check on the follow up. That's what you need to do, is write stuff down or put something in your iPhone notes or your Android notes, or write it down and then go back to those people and say, "Oh yeah, I tried to get a hold of you a couple days ago. I don't know if you saw my email." Okay. Now, a perk to the internet leads. The internet lead gives you the ability to research before you make the phone call. What do you mean, Kyle? Well, you can see where they live because they have their address in internet leads if they're serious. You can see their email, Dodgers fan 101 at yahoo.com. Oh, I'm dealing with the Dodgers fan. Now I got something to talk about. You can see what their zip code is. Where do they live in? Do they live by the lake? Do they live up in the mountains? Do they live in the slums? Do they live in the rich area? And you can start talking about that, where they live, their neighborhoods, all the park by their house. You can also, if you want to go this far, you can Facebook them. You don't want to say you Facebooked them, but you get an idea of who you're talking with on the phone. You see their face. Oh, okay. Or you might know that guy. Or you have mutual friends on Facebook. Oh my gosh, we have 3 mutual friends. Yeah, I was just I had my buddy stop by the dealership yesterday. His name's Mike Walters, and what do you mean? You know Mike too? Gotcha. Yeah, Mike was here yesterday checking out some trucks. Wait, you know Mike too? No, shoot. I probably met you at a barbecue or something, right? You got common ground. So internet leads allows you to do a little research before you make the call. Are you getting so many internet leads per day that you can't do a little research? I bet you can. Just spend a little bit extra time before you make the call. So internet leads give us a little of an advantage because now you can do a little research before. Okay, now on internet leads, this is something that it took me a little while to learn in the car business, but I would say things like this to set the appointment. Hey, come check out the truck, no pressure. I'm not asking you to buy. Just come see if you like it, and if you do, you can buy it. If not, you don't have to, right? I'm giving them a psychological loophole to not buy the vehicle. But the psychological loophole I've given them gets them in the doors because they don't feel that pressure yet. Now, when they see me in person, that's when I change my intensity. And after I change my intensity, I change my intentions. My intentions on the phone are to get an appointment. My intentions and intensity change when they're in person because now I'm selling them a car. They are not leaving unless I sell them a car. They're only going to leave in my new vehicle. I tell myself that. I make it known. Hey, I'm just trying to do my job. And my job is to help you get all the rest of the information so you can make an educated decision based on the numbers, the interest rates, the payments, all of that. I don't want you to leave with just out the door because you're going to try to make an educated decision based off half the information. So let me do my job and get the rest of it for you. And then at that point, you can see the payment, the term, the interest rate down to the penny. And if you like the numbers, you can buy it. If not, you can tell me, Kyle, pound sand. My feelings won't get hurt, but allow me to do my job for you so I can feel good when I go home. Who can say no to that? Nobody. Because you're just trying to do your job to get them the information so they can make an educated decision. Because Mr. Customer, you make educated decisions before you buy big purchases, right? Well, absolutely, I make educated decisions. Well, then allow me to do my job to get you the rest of the information so I can allow you to make an educated decision. Capiche? Capiche. All right, let's get this app going. Don't worry, it's not going to wreck your credit. Boom, boom, boom. Only takes a few minutes, and then you can decide if you want to move forward or not. What am I doing there? What have I done there? I've changed my intensity and my intentions from appointment setting to now you're in front of me to selling you a car. You are not leaving without the car. I'm going to keep telling myself that until I get the deal. Now, if you blow out of here because I tried too hard to sell you a car, my manager's not going to be mad at me. I did everything I can. I got everything done. He should have came out and helped me. Right? So remember that. Say things like, I'm going to say it one more time just so we got it in front of us. Come check out the truck, no pressure. I'm not asking you to buy it. I just want to see if you like it. Maybe you can give me some feedback on the new features and some of the new things on our new F-150 versus the one you have from 2017. Well, I like your opinion. Plus, we get to meet face to face. And if you like all the information and you like the payments, you can buy it. If not, you don't have to. No pressure at all. I got him in. Now he's in. My intensity and intentions change. I'm selling you a car. Look at my eyes. They changed. Okay. Assume the appointment also when you're talking with customers. I'll get you all the information you need when you're in the dealership to make an educated decision. Don't worry. I'm going to give you everything. It's just too much to do over the phone. There's different incentives you can choose. There's different rates you can choose. What's your best deal? The best deals in the showroom. Trust me, when you're here and my manager sees me, he's going to make you the best deal. If you just want to do something over the phone, that's what the prices on the internet are for. But they're not that great. You need to get in here and let's make a freaking deal, right? The manager's got to meet his quota. I already hit my goal. It's all about him now. I'm going to let him try to hit his goal. All right, I'll be right there, Kyle. What do you want to drink, man? I'll go grab it from across the street. Hey, no alcohol. That's after hours, right? I'm having fun. How can you say no to a salesperson like that that's saying, hey, no pressure, don't buy it if you don't want to. If you don't like the truck, no biggie. What can I get you to drink? Is your wife coming? What is she like? I'll say it's your idea. Dr. Pepper? Gotcha. All right. You can see where I'm going. You can see my passion in the car business. I recently just came back from a 8-day vacation. Did I think about the car business my entire vacation? Yeah. Did I tell anybody? No. But I love the car business. And this is something that you need to adapt in your career, in your life. Whether you like it or not, tell yourself you do, because you can start convincing yourself that this is what I am. I'm a car salesperson. I'm proud of it. I'm going to tell everybody. I'm going to wear my stuff all the time. My favorite vest because it has an Alfa Romeo badge. And I had that franchise for a while and I love selling those vehicles. And guess what? No matter where I go, I wear my trusty vest because guess what happens? It brings up talking points. So the passion that you're seeing in this podcast and my training is the passion you need to sell more cars, the training you need to sell more cars, the sales abilities you need to sell more cars, and the contact that you make with the customer eye to eye. Guess what? You're a professional. You sold more cars last month than a customer will buy in their lifetime. who is the professional and who is the amateur. So when you look at a customer straight in the eye and you tell them, listen, we've come this far, we ran your credit, we got the perfect interest rate, we got the payment you want, and what else is there to think about it? Whether you buy it here or not, this is what this vehicle costs. Now you can fall for those advertisements that are 100 miles away at those dealerships. And then when you get there, oh, you have to be a fireman. Oh, you have to be a first responder. Oh, you have to have a college background. Oh, you have to have a bachelor's degree. Oh, you have to draw blood to get that special price. Oh, they're doing business the unethical way. When you got someone here that's a family man, you can spend your money locally. I think you're doing business at the right place. Now, do you want a half a tank of fuel or do you want a full tank of fuel? Full tank, you got a deal. You know what? Put me back on the sales floor. All right. Sold customers. Now let's talk about sold customers. So two things happen with salespeople. You're either really good at sold customer follow-up or you're not. Not really a middle ground that I've seen in the car business. There's some people that never let go of a sold customer. They're contacting, they're sending birthday cards, they're doing everything. I have a salesperson I knew who's the best in the business at it. His name is Ty Nelson. He gave me a gray hair every time I worked a deal for him because he was that kind of sales guy, but he was a darn good salesperson. And he never let go of his customers that he sold. Birthday cards, Christmas cards, phone calls, you name it, he sent those cards, and he had an extremely loyal customer base. So you're either that type of salesperson, or you were like me on the sales floor, sold a car, kind of forgot about them. Unless I clicked with them really good, I kind of forgot about them until they came back around. Like, oh, that's my sold customer, right? What's up, friend? Well, yeah, I'm Kyle. I forgot your name is David. David, that's right. All right. Oh no, it's Mike. See, yeah, Sam. How you doing, Sam? Right? So we don't want to be that salesperson. However, I have tips for both. If you sell a car today or tomorrow, friend them on Facebook, friend them on Instagram. If they decline your friend request, at least you tried, but most likely they're going to say um, accept, especially if you give them a heads up. Hey, I sent you a friend request on Facebook. You're my sole customer. I want to make sure I stay in contact with you. You're VIP to me. And forever follow up, like in my 11 steps of the sale, is like them, like their posts on Facebook. If they graduate or their kids graduate, congratulations. These are little tidbits of follow up that you're doing. Give them a call for their birthday. Give them a call for Christmas or whatever holiday, and you continually stay in contact with those customers. Okay, but that's got to start right away. You got to start doing it right away. As much as you feel like they can handle. You don't want to be in their face every single day. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good evening, good evening, good evening. Do it tactfully, but stay in contact with them forever. Now, if you haven't contacted a customer in a long time, simply call them and tell them, I'm sorry, I've been a bad salesperson. Your name came across my desk and I thought, darn me, I haven't talked to this guy since I sold him this truck 2 years ago. Mike, this is Kyle. I'm really sorry. Dude, they're going to love you for that because, yeah, you have been kind of a bad salesperson. Kyle, you haven't called me in 2 years. You just wanted the sale and that was it. Well, yeah, I guess. I'm so sorry, man. How's that truck been treating you? Well, I need a new one. Oh, okay. I promise that's not why I was calling. I was just calling to say, I'm sorry for being a bad salesperson and not getting a hold of you. That's a simple way. It's fun to reconnect with your customer. You can also find them on Facebook again and say something like, my CRM system lost your phone number. I feel like an idiot. I should have found you on Facebook a year ago after I sold it. You got to make something up. But, the truthful way is probably the best because you're going to put a smile on their face. Man, I've been a sucky salesperson. I haven't talked to you since you bought the vehicle. I'm really sorry, Mike. And I hope everything's going good. How's your wife doing? How are the kids doing? And you can reconnect just like that and get right back into that forever follow-up after you reconnect. So if it's been a while since you sold a customer, don't worry about it. Just tell them exactly that. I've been a bad salesperson. I'm so sorry, man. Your name came across my system. I thought, oh, I haven't called him since he bought it. I'm so sorry, Mike. Simple, reconnect. And then after you reconnect, that's when you can probe them for referrals, probe them for another vehicle. Hey, does anyone in your family need a vehicle? I'm trying to dig deep for this month. Anything I can do to help you get into something new, there's some new programs, and you can start resurfacing that connection you had when you first sold them. Okay, orphan customers. These are customers that a salesperson maybe quit. and all these customers are flooded to everybody that this person had, and they're orphan customers. Simple way to reconnect with an orphan customer is to simply call them, and you're just saying, "Hey, I'm trying to connect with you because your salesperson that you bought a vehicle from has retired or he's moved on, he moved out of state, and I don't want to leave any customer unhelped. I want to make sure everyone's being helped. How is the vehicle you purchased here? I want to say thank you again. I know it's been a few years since you bought it, but every customer in our system is VIP, and I just want to make sure that you're being helped and that you have a new connection at the dealership. Do you mind if I send you my information, whether it's you want to stop by for coffee or you need some service or you want to buy a new vehicle or you want to buy 5 new vehicles? I want to make sure you have a connection here, and that's me. Simple way to connect with an orphan customer. Is through that. It's just making a call and reconnecting. You don't have to put a sales pitch in. You don't want to try to sell them on the first phone call either. I'm just reconnecting because your salesperson left. So orphans are pretty straightforward. Cold calls are the tougher ones. Like I said, they're lower closing ratio. But once you get good at something, then you'll notice your closing ratio goes up. Just like when you were brand new on the sales floor, you weren't closing the hard deals. But then all of a sudden you got better and better and better because you kept practicing. Now you're closing all the hard deals that before you wouldn't have been able to close. Same thing with phone calls. The more phone calls you make, the more mistakes you make, the more errors, the more things you say that are like, why the heck did I say that? That was the dumbest thing I've ever said. Those are the little things that get you to that next level so you can be a savage on the phone. And when you become a savage on the phone, you're already a savage with walk-ins. So you're making 5 to 6 grand with walk-ins, and now you're making 5 to 6 grand with phone calls. Okay, now you're making 10 to 12,000 bucks. What happens when you start doing outside networking? When you start joining groups outside of work, you go to the gym, you wear your you wear your clothes, you go to churches, you go to food drives, you start doing these community events. You got 5 from this, 2 from this. You start getting good at repeat or referrals. I mean, there's the world is yours if you want to put in the work to make the big money. And trust me, there's people doing it right now. You just need to tap into it and get your piece of the pie and start becoming a sales titan. I hope you guys like this episode. Remember to book your one-on-one if you want to be in season 8. And if you don't want to be in season 8, that's okay. You can still book a one-on-one training session. I highly recommend it. Check out my links in the description of this episode. I really appreciate everything. If you have any tips or suggestions for my background, or if you want to see something or it's blurry or whatever, please let me know. My microphone, my tablet, and I got my little monitor here so I can see what the camera is checking out. But I appreciate the feedback if you guys can give me some positive suggestions. Yeah, my setup isn't the greatest, but I'm trying to go to the next level just like everybody else, right? And we're in this together. We are a sales team. I'm your trainer. I'm going to be your life coach. I'm going to do everything I can in the car business, about the car business, to help you get to the next level and become that sales titan, making 100, 150, $200,000 a year plus. Thank you guys for tuning in. Kyle Galaz signing out.